Hello there, welcome to my YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about my latest track, Nothing2U, how I produced it, how I wrote it, all here in my flat in Liverpool. And yeah, the creation behind the track, so let's get into it. So Nothing2U began, like most of my other songs, as just like an acoustic guitar, kind of ballady song. I can actually play what it sounded like when I first wrote it. Quarter life crisis. And the main riff of the song is written in open D tuning. It's kind of just a rock riff, really. So when I recorded that, it sounded like this. One of my favourite plugins to put on acoustic guitars is this Tape Mello-Fi by Arturia. They were giving it away for free for a bit. One thing I like to do a lot recently is writing to drum loops on Splice, but this was sort of reverse engineered in that way. So the good song was written, I needed to find a drum part that fit the tune. So I ended up chopping up this Splice sample and then just beefing that up with some additional kicks and snares. So all together with the acoustic guitar. Which is already a pretty good substantial base to build the rest of the production on. So one part that happens in the verses is quite subtle. You have just this simple electric guitar sort of chugging along. Very rock and roll. And when you add in the bass, also following that pattern. And that's pretty much the groove for most of the tune. Vocal-wise, I tend to just double track all of my vocals. I have quite a soft voice, but especially for a song like this, it needs a bit more push. So I find layering lots and lots of vocals helps get that effect. Shout out to Tarek, who takes all this and mixes it properly for me now.
Quarter life crisis. I don't wanna grow old anyway. Cut my hair and I stain my shirt. All the darkness blocks the hurt.
And when you hit the chorus, there are just a few more vocal layers.
So I am nothing to you. You're just a child with eyes of blue. Sitting in a metro 95. Windows down, keep the dream alive.
One of my favourite parts is actually in the post-chorus section, which is where you get this riff. Now, it's obviously very Joy Division-y. It's played on the bass with a lot of distortion. To subvert it even more, it's actually got my vocal in there as well. With lots of saturation. And you actually also get a little synth, which is one of the UAD plugins. The settings, I can't remember setting this up, to be honest, but it has a pitch shifter on it and a mellotron. Just a pretty simple synth sound. Another interesting section, I think, is the bridge, where the chord progression finally changes and you almost get this sort of euphoric moment in the middle of the song. Part of that is due to these harmony stacks here. Which are very trippy, very sort of 60s. Get that effect through this actually free chorus plugin. Another instrument you get in this section is the 12-string guitar. Sounds a bit like Friends. And you actually get more of that bass guitar riff sound here as well, which is supported by an electric guitar. Then obviously you get the dropout section.
I am nothing to you.
The acoustic guitar sort of brings it back to how the song was originally written, if that's not too pretentious. So the layers in the chorus altogether, you've got 12-string guitar, you've got the riff on the electric guitar, you've got this electric guitar part which is just playing the chords, pretty gnarly. You have probably the most simple synth sound ever, which is another one from the UAD plugin. It's called Huge Manor. You've got this pad throughout the track, which is just sort of a drone. It fills out all the empty space. You've got the bass riff, which is the Joy Division-y sound, and the normal bass. You got these acoustic guitars, which is the main part. Even more gnarly electric guitar. And then your drums with some tambourines. In fact, in the choruses you get a more saturated drum sample as well, which is pretty horrible. But it does just help to give it a bit of a lift. And so yeah, that is pretty much all the layers of this track. It's one of my more simple productions, but it's definitely one of my favourites. That sort of 90s, gnarly, kind of almost Nirvana-y style to it. But yeah, I hope this has been useful for any budding producers or songwriters out there. But if there are any other of my songs or anything else you want to find out about on this YouTube channel, please drop a comment, subscribe, like, all of that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace and love.